Edith Wharton special to you?
Edith. I call her Edith because we're on a first name basis. I think she was the first writer I read in college that I really just connected with, and her voice and her way of viewing privilege is utterly fascinating to me, and probably my favorite book of hers is The Age of Innocence. And once I read that book, I then had to read all of her books. So I wrote edits for the necklace in Edith Wharton's house, The Mount, in her very bedroom, which is where she used to write. And she wrote in bed, actually, and she tossed the pages on the floor, and her personal secretary would come and gather them and then go type them in the other room for her. So I didn't have that kind of setup. I was writing on a plastic catering desk, but I was in her bedroom looking at her view, and it was amazing to be there. It was one of the most productive, magical places I've ever written. The Mount in Lenox is a historic home. You can go there and tour it, and it's one of these very grand Gilded Age Berkshire estates. It's gorgeous. The layout of it, the architecture of it's interesting because it's a piano noble style, which means you enter on the first floor, but there are no rooms. On the first floor, it's just an entryway, and then you have to go up. And what would be the second floor has the living rooms and everything, and the third floor has the bedrooms. So it's interesting from a writer's perspective because it has like an extra layer of privacy almost built right into it, in that you can't really get in unless you have to go in and go up. So I think that's interesting that as a writer, because she architected the house, that she created it that way. And also when you approach the house, the front door is surrounded by a courtyard with really high walls. So the whole experience of going in her house is, you feel this incredible sense of privacy and separateness. I read 3 really amazing kick-ass books by women that I really liked. One was Alissa Nutting's Made for Love, which is a amazing book. It's set in Tampa, and it's about a woman who's going through a divorce and her father who is having a relationship with a plastic sex doll. But it's fascinating. It's a very bizarro, witty, interesting take on feminism, consumerism, capitalism, the nature of connection between people in modern society. I just read Roxane Gay's book, Hunger. She's amazing. She was just here in Cleveland. And then I've also read Courtney Maum's Touch recently, which deals with similar themes. That is about a woman who's a trend forecaster for big companies, and it's about what happens when she doesn't like the trends she's forecasting. And it's also a pretty funny and sharp takedown, again, of capitalism, consumerism, the lack of real connection between people, our electronic sort of society.